Power English, the self-debate, one-man debate, my moment of the truth. Result that the ABO blood group system deserves global attention to deter racism. Dr. Peter J. D'Adamo, the author of the two books in front of your eyes, argue that we have four major blood groups. This is what he says. Type O, the hunter, meat eater. Type B, the nomad, they balanced and very strong immune system. And A, type A, farmers, agrarians, or cultivators. Type AB, it's a cross between A and B. And the enigma, you can't tell where they are from, but they're the latest invention, because back in those days, Cro-Magnons and earlier forms of sapien, every one of them was share the same blood, type O blood. So it's time for medical doctors to give attention to ABO blood system. Why? Because when the Japanese tourists visit overseas, or visitors from overseas, what is your blood type? 血液型なんですか? And they will be befuddled, confused. So this little argument might give you an idea about how it works. Let the debate begin. Rock Affirmative. The world is crying. Overpopulated. The people hate each other, the guts. And there's a lot of bad blood between Koreans and Japanese, and Chinese and Japanese. And the blood makes, breaks human relationships. And blood is universal, so is blood types. Blood types are characters. Blood types are personalities. Blood types are, human identities. So why don't we develop this? Let them know that ABO system works, because of the blood you hate each other, kill each other, murder each other. But blood types, you don't just give your blood to someone behind the enemy line. So it's the best way to counterbalance the negative consequences of the blood differences, And Hitler had a morbid notion of the eugenics. Jews and gypsies are of the inferior races. Those days will be gone if you adopt our plan. When negative, Affirmative says a lot about the differences between the blood and blood identity, blood type character theory. Isn't blood donation positive? Yes, why? Don't ask why. I'm asking you. The blood types are above racism, racial tension? Explain. The blood types, blood type identities are more humanitarian, because in America, white don't like blood, the black bloods. The black bloods don't like white bloods either. It's emotional. But if you classify them by blood types, those hatred will be gone. So that would be a more humanitarian approach will be made available for mutual benefit. Isn't the ABO system an inexact science? incomplete science, pseudoscience. It was, not anymore. These two books that I showed you clearly indicate that ABO is universally recognized. So the people are paying more attention to it. Negative rock. We negative give affirmative the benefit of the doubt as far as evidence goes. And thank you for enlightening us, because I wasn't aware the ABO system has gotten this far. It's amazing, isn't it? But I want you to remember the people have emotional reason to fear the blood type analysis, because Jews in particular will be frightened by the notion of blood types. And the Jews immediately think of Adolf Hitler, who discriminated against other races on account of the blood. So the Aryan race is superior to the other races. So it's not going to win over the racist sentiment. So persistent the fear over eugenics and will be around. It's easy for the people who start asking about the astrological signs. What is a sign? I'm a Pisces. What is a Virgo? And it's just kids, so you can get away with it. But what about the blood type? What is your blood? You're gonna give me a blood donation? So it just spreads the fears, reopening the old wounds. When the affirmative, let me ask a native, why is the ABO system getting recognition? A number of reasons. If the world gets around, that in Japan they have Nomi Masahiko blood theory, and the Olympics is just around the corner. Obviously, the people are beginning to chat about blood groups. Even among doctors, talk about it. I had a talk with Dr. Akira Ueda of Yawata Clinic, and he told me, doctors are talking, whispering about blood types. And that coincides with my observations. A lot of people believe in it, but they never talk about it, but they practice it. Astrology isn't science either, is it? That's a totally irrelevant question. We're not talking about astrology. We're talking about the blood type character analysis. Blood type is a character. Blood type is a temperament. Blood type is a personality. Didn't Hitler believe in eugenics? And the Jews? Hitler didn't understand blood, let alone blood types. So he couldn't have killed the Jews if he had advanced knowledge of the blood types, having no emotions and pure medical science. Affirmative fire! Dr. Nomi, Masahiko Nomi, used to be a friend of mine before he passed away. He died in front of the audience with a chalk in his hand. He died, collapsed. With a firm belief in the fact that the blood type authority is a science, I stood up in defense of Dr. Nomi, and I had a heated argument, a debate with a Connecticut University professor of biology about 20 or 30 years ago. And we had locked horns. I never gave an inch. He gave me as much as he's got. We are almost even. In the words of his wife, Matsumoto-san, うちの主人と対等でしたよ。 and encouraged, and I thought so we might have another round of debate next day. And he never gave up on his thought. So I eventually turned around and said, Professor, you must be a type B blood. You know, he was frozen. That was a bullseye. His blood type was a B. So he said he accepted everything I said. And why? Because the type B people are very argumentative. So that proved the point. The next morning he came back with a book, biology textbook. And he said he would start on learning this. That was to our mutual satisfaction. It worked. Negative fire. It looks as though the affirmative is so carried away. And it was nothing but a personal story. And affirmative was too busy trying to personalize it. So let's put it on a factual and logical foundation again. Was Mr. Nomi a medical doctor? He was a specialist. He knew too much about the blood types, but was he a licensed doctor? How can you convince the average American who doesn't understand the blood types or his own blood types? 私の血液型, nobody knows. How can you tell him to give more credit and recognition to the Dr. Nomi's theory? So it's nothing personal. This is supposed to be an open debate proposition. It's not just Mr. Matsumoto, the personal acquaintances of Dr. Nomi. Oh, he isn't a doctor even, perhaps, to the best of my recollection. So the question is, giving you, if Dr. Nomi is authoritative, but what about the average American, average British, average Irish, average Scot? And they will be lost. So let's get real, let's get real. Negative water. Negative appreciate, affirmative, enlightening speech. I learned a lot about it. I hadn't paid attention to Dr. Nomi's accomplishment so far, but he enlightened us on it. But the question remains, if it's so critical an issue, why hasn't it been brought up earlier as an issue? It hasn't been brought up yet. And it looks as though that you have a long road of trouble before you see the light and before everyone sees the light. So it just opened a little crack. So it doesn't mean that it is widespread, but I give you the fact the world is getting around that everyone says that you are type O blood. You know, the world is around. People love to talk about it. And yet does that have a medical validity? So that's another issue. So let's give it time. Affirmative water. Let's give you the power of a vortex. Water turns around. Racism is an existential threat. The problem that everyone is faced with. There's a bad blood contributing to the racial tension and wars, bloodshed. Everyone knows that the wars are not going to go away, but yet has there been any effort made to eliminate these hostilities from the racial tensions? And no one has ever done that before. So we have stood up against that by utilizing blood type analysis. Each blood type has a character, personality, just to give the theory the benefit of doubt. I'm not saying this is the theory, this is a theory, and it will be a giant step for mankind. So this knowledge channel, the debate we have had so far, it's just the beginning. It's a small step for man. It's a small step for knowledge crew people. But it's going to be a giant step for mankind. Thank you for your attention. I rest my case. 判定。もともとはですね、これはディベートとしてはちょっと無理があったな、私は認めています。論題に設定に無理がありましてですね、このシナリオも無理で、私自身はあんまりハッピーじゃないんですけども、どういうわけかね、血液型をやってますと裏表があってなかなか表で言えない。しかし裏ではよく使っている、よく企業なんか人事課全部使っているの表で出さない。人事は必ずその血液型に合うような仕事を与えてるらしいんですけどね、表だって言わない。そういうところを見ると、野見正彦さんと会った時ったら、私は NHK が終わって40の前半で、野見さんって60ぐらいの白髪の老人でね、その人に会った時からバッチーンとぶつかりましたね。私はディベートのロジックを使って、向こうは事実だけ集めてるんです。B 型さ集めなくすぎて何でも知ってるんだけど、脈絡がないことはそこをついていったんです。あなたの意見通ったら、例えばB 型の人は言ってるその人の言葉を真に受けて怒ってくるでしょう。A 型は真に受けない。O 型は無視。関係ないこと全然表情も表さない。A 型はちょっとその誰が私を悪口言って名前を教えて電話番号って A 型が怖いんですよ。B 型も忘れてる A 型忘れてない。その話をした時からはパッとね電話かかってきてものすごく叱られてるんですよ。それは A 型の女性で先生言った通り A 型の女性は怖いってあんなにソフトに人の前で何にも言うニコニコ言ってるんだけど表になって電話になったら怖いですねって今日は先生に負けましたって初めてのに私はキス座も知らないんだがロジックだけ通したんですねそういうこともあって、自信がありましただから野見さんの本を全部読みましてね何回も議論しました。それで、アメリカコネチケット大学の生物学の教授と話をしても認めてもらったです。したがってこの分類法は人種差別的見方の中でもね看護師と戦いますよ。この人 A 型だから B 型だから言わない。アメリカみたいにリパブリカンがデモクラットそんなことで見てませんよね。だからヒューマニタリアンのことをね考えると殺し合いじゃなくてみんな4つしかないと。そういうことでやるということはですね、緊急性の証明ということはないにしても私は言いました。最初は A theory 一つの理論と言ったはずは The theory と言ってませんよ。これしかないとは言ってませんよ。こういうことをちょっと、検証していただけませんかというわけの、仮定法、仮説設定型のディベートですよね。ハイポテシステスティングディベート、だからこれは、肯定側の、ABO システムは一向するに値があるということで肯定が勝ち肯定が勝ちMichihiro Matsumoto Knowledge Channel Tokyo Japan